Every choice we make begins with a question. Even if we don't realize it, why am I doing this? Without a clear answer, our decisions often feel heavy, uncertain, or meaningless, as if we are moving through life in a fog, hoping the right path will appear. Understanding your purpose is like having a compass in a storm. It doesn't control the weather, but it shows you the direction to navigate through chaos and confusion. Decisions that once seemed overwhelming suddenly align with your inner truth. Many people chase goals without asking why. They pursue success, wealth, or status because it looks appealing or because society says it is valuable. But when purpose is missing, these achievements can feel empty, like climbing a mountain only to realize it wasn't the right mountain. Purpose acts as a filter. When you know why you do something, saying yes and no becomes clearer. You no longer exhaust yourself on things that don't matter, and your energy goes toward actions that have real impact. Think about it, two people can do the same job, the same tasks, and follow the same schedule, but their experiences are worlds apart. The difference is the why behind their actions. One is fueled by passion, the other drifts through obligation. Purpose gives meaning to struggle. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable, but when you understand why you are doing something, obstacles become lessons rather than roadblocks. Every failure becomes a stepping stone toward fulfillment. Without a why, motivation is temporary. You might push yourself for a paycheck, recognition, or a fleeting reward, but these forces are external and unreliable. A clearly defined purpose provides internal motivation that endures, even when the external world is harsh or indifferent. Purpose also aligns you with the people and opportunities that matter most. When your why is clear, you naturally attract collaborators, mentors, and allies who resonate with your vision. Your network becomes a reflection of your values and mission. Decision-making transforms when purpose is at the center. Choices no longer feel like sacrifices or compromises. They become intentional steps toward a meaningful life. You evaluate options not only for immediate gain, but for alignment with your long-term vision. Your why shapes your identity. It moves beyond what you do to who you become. When you act in accordance with your purpose, every action reinforces your character, building integrity, confidence, and self-respect. Understanding your why also allows you to handle criticism and external pressure. When others question your path, purpose acts as a shield. You remain grounded because your decisions are rooted in your values, not in the fluctuating opinions of others. Purpose can evolve, but it always requires self-reflection. Life experiences, failures, and successes all refine your understanding of why you do what you do. The journey to clarity is ongoing, and each step deepens your sense of fulfillment. When you operate from a strong why, even the mundane becomes meaningful. Daily routines, repetitive tasks, and challenging moments take on a new significance because you see how they connect to a larger vision, a bigger reason that matters deeply to you. In the end, living without purpose is like walking through life with blinders on, reacting to circumstances instead of creating your own path. But when you start with why, every decision, action, and relationship begins to make sense, and your life moves toward clarity, fulfillment, and true alignment. Failure is often seen as the enemy, a mark of inadequacy or weakness, but it is one of life's most powerful teachers. Every setback holds insight that success alone cannot provide, and learning to embrace it changes the way we approach challenges. When you fail, it forces you to confront reality. You can no longer rely on assumptions or shortcuts. Failure exposes the gaps in knowledge, skill, or strategy that must be addressed before progress is possible. Many people spend their lives avoiding failure, chasing perfection instead. But perfection is an illusion, and avoiding mistakes only delays growth. True learning occurs when we stumble, reflect, and adapt. Each failure carries a hidden lesson, often wrapped in discomfort, frustration, or disappointment. These moments are uncomfortable by design. They push us beyond our comfort zones and reveal truths we might otherwise ignore. Understanding that failure is a teacher requires a shift in mindset. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" we ask, "What is this showing me?" This simple reframing transforms setbacks into opportunities for insight. The lessons of failure are rarely obvious at first. They are subtle, embedded in the details of what went wrong, in the patterns of decision making, and in the choices we didn't notice until it was too late. Failure also cultivates resilience. Every time we experience it and continue forward, we strengthen our ability to withstand future challenges. The setbacks that once crushed us eventually become the foundation of our endurance. Learning from failure requires honesty. It demands that we acknowledge our mistakes, take responsibility, and resist the temptation to blame external circumstances. This accountability is where real growth begins. The people who embrace failure differently are often the most innovative. They experiment, take risks, and view mistakes as data, not judgment. This perspective allows them to iterate quickly and improve faster than those who fear error. Failure teaches humility. It reminds us that no matter how skilled, talented, or knowledgeable we become, life has a way of humbling us. Humility opens the mind to learning and allows us to listen, observe, and adapt. Sometimes, failure reveals what truly matters. In losing, we often discover priorities, passions, and values we may have overlooked in the pursuit of conventional success. Setbacks illuminate the path we should have taken all along. Embracing failure encourages creativity. When traditional approaches don't work, we are forced to think differently, to innovate, and to discover solutions we never considered. Mistakes become the stepping stones to breakthroughs. Failure also builds empathy. Experiencing setbacks ourselves makes us more compassionate toward others who struggle, and it teaches us that everyone's journey includes missteps and challenges that shape who they are. Ultimately, failure is not a signal to stop. It is a guide to refine, adjust, and grow. Every setback carries a hidden lesson, waiting to be uncovered, understood, and applied to move closer to mastery. Success is often measured by wealth, titles, and achievements, but without meaningful relationships, these accomplishments can feel hollow. Human connections give life its depth, warmth, and true significance. From the earliest days, we are wired to connect. Friendships, family bonds, mentorship, and even brief interactions shape our emotions, our growth, and our perspective of the world around us. Many people chase success at the expense of relationships, believing that achievements will bring fulfillment. But without trusted allies and genuine connections, victories can feel isolated and joy incomplete. Relationships are more than companionship. They are mirrors that reflect who we truly are. Through interactions with others, we discover strengths, weaknesses, and qualities that we may not see on our own. Investing in relationships is an investment in yourself. Supporting others, listening deeply, and being present nurtures trust and builds networks that sustain us in both good and challenging times. Time is finite, and how we spend it defines the legacy we leave behind. Prioritizing relationships ensures that our life is measured not only by accomplishments, but by the impact we have on those around us. Human connections provide guidance and wisdom. Friends, mentors, and loved ones often see what we cannot, offering insights that shape better decisions and broaden our understanding of the world. Success without connection can lead to loneliness, stress, and a sense of emptiness. Relationships bring perspective, reminding us that life is not a solo endeavor, but a shared journey filled with learning and growth. Deep connections require effort. Listening, empathizing, and showing vulnerability are essential ingredients that transform acquaintances into meaningful, enduring relationships that withstand the test of time. Prioritizing relationships does not mean abandoning ambition. Instead, it creates a balance where personal growth, achievement, and human connection coexist, enhancing the richness of life rather than detracting from it. Every encounter holds potential for impact. A kind word, a supportive gesture, or simply being present can strengthen bonds and influence someone's life in ways we may never fully realize. Relationships also teach patience, forgiveness, and resilience. Conflicts and challenges within connections are opportunities to grow emotionally, navigate differences, and strengthen trust over time. Networks of genuine connection often open doors that success alone cannot. Opportunities, guidance, and inspiration frequently come from those who believe in you, support you, and walk alongside you on your journey. In the end, achievements are temporary, but relationships endure. Human connections shape our memories, define our experiences, and are the true currency of life, giving meaning to every success. Talent is often celebrated, admired, and envied, but it is not the ultimate determinant of success. While natural ability may open doors, it is consistency that carries you through the long journey of growth and achievement. Small, repeated actions, performed day after day, create momentum. Momentum compounds quietly, invisibly, until one day the results appear monumental, often surpassing those with greater raw talent, but irregular effort. Consistency builds skill. Practicing a craft daily, even imperfectly, refines technique, sharpens focus, and develops a level of mastery that sporadic brilliance can never match. Talent without consistency is like a spark without fuel. It may shine brightly for a moment, but it quickly fades. Consistent effort keeps the fire alive, growing steadily over time. Small actions may feel insignificant at first. Writing one page, making one call, or taking one step may seem minor, but these incremental efforts accumulate into exponential progress. Consistency fosters discipline. The habit of showing up, doing the work, and staying committed cultivates resilience and self-control, qualities that talent alone cannot provide. Success is rarely a sudden event. Most achievements are the result of hundreds, even thousands, of unnoticed, repeated actions. Consistency is the invisible engine driving visible results. Consistency also builds trust. In relationships, work, or leadership, being reliable and dependable over time earns respect, credibility, and opportunities that talent alone cannot secure. The journey is often long, and consistency sustains motivation. When results don't appear immediately, persistent action prevents discouragement and keeps progress moving forward steadily. Over time, consistent effort develops confidence. Each repetition reinforces skill and competence, giving you the assurance to take on bigger challenges and more ambitious goals. Consistency allows for learning through iteration. Repeated practice exposes mistakes, teaches adjustments, and gradually improves performance in ways that occasional brilliance cannot. Even the most talented individuals encounter setbacks, but those who are consistent push through obstacles. Their persistence ensures that failures become lessons, and their efforts continue to accumulate toward success. In a world obsessed with instant results, consistent action is often overlooked or undervalued. Yet, those who commit to small daily steps eventually achieve lasting impact that talent alone cannot reach. Ultimately, consistency beats talent because life rewards perseverance over flashes of brilliance. Small, repeated actions, compounded over time, create mastery, momentum, and progress far beyond what occasional talent can achieve. Your mind is the lens through which you perceive the world. The thoughts you allow to occupy it shape your emotions, decisions, and ultimately the life you experience. Guarding it is not optional, it is essential. Negative thoughts act like weeds in a garden. If left unchecked, they spread, choking out positivity, creativity, and clarity. Regular attention and care are required to prevent them from taking root. Most people underestimate the power of their inner dialogue. Self-doubt, fear, or criticism repeated daily becomes a script that directs actions, often in ways we barely notice. Guarding your mind begins with awareness. Notice the recurring thoughts, the patterns that drain energy, and the stories you tell yourself about what you can or cannot achieve. Thoughts are not facts. Recognizing this distinction allows you to challenge limiting beliefs and replace them with perspectives that serve growth, resilience, and fulfillment. The mind is a reflection of what you expose it to. Constant negativity from news, toxic people, or unhealthy comparisons can dominate mental space, reinforcing fear and insecurity instead of possibility. Positive, intentional thoughts act like seeds planted in fertile soil. They grow over time, influencing behavior, creating confidence, and attracting opportunities aligned with your values. Guarding your mind also means setting boundaries. Protect your mental space from people, environments, or habits that deplete energy, distract focus, or undermine your sense of purpose. Meditation, reflection, and journaling are powerful tools to maintain mental clarity. They allow space to examine thoughts, confront biases, and reinforce beliefs that align with your goals. Your reality is a mirror of your predominant thoughts. Gratitude, optimism, and vision-focused thinking attract actions and outcomes that correspond with those inner narratives. Conversely, unchecked fear, resentment, or self-criticism manifests externally as hesitation, missed opportunities, and decisions rooted in limitation rather than possibility. Guarding your mind is not about suppressing challenges or ignoring negative emotions. It's about choosing which thoughts to amplify, which narratives to nurture, and which patterns to rewrite. Over time, disciplined mental care strengthens resilience. A guarded, intentional mind responds to setbacks with clarity and focus, while an unguarded mind reacts impulsively, often compounding problems. Ultimately, the quality of your thoughts defines the quality of your life. By carefully tending your mental landscape, nurturing empowering ideas, and eliminating destructive patterns, you shape a reality that reflects your highest potential in a world obsessed with achievement and accumulation. The most powerful way to stand out is to give before you take. Generosity, when sincere, builds bridges, trust, and influence far beyond what self-interest can achieve. Giving first signals that you are not just focused on your own gain. It shows authenticity, character, and a willingness to create value for others before expecting anything in return. Contribution is not limited to material resources. Sharing knowledge, offering guidance, lending support, or simply listening attentively are forms of giving that can transform relationships and communities. When you give without expecting an immediate return, you cultivate influence naturally. People notice those who add value consistently, and they are more likely to reciprocate and support your vision in the long term. Many chase influence through titles, money, or authority, but these are external measures. True influence stems from the consistent act of contributing to others' growth, well-being, and success. Giving creates trust. When people see that your actions are motivated by generosity rather than self-interest, they feel safe investing in a connection with you, whether personally or professionally. Contribution also strengthens communities. When each person focuses on giving, networks of support, collaboration, and innovation naturally emerge, multiplying the impact far beyond individual efforts. The mindset of giving first shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance. Instead of asking, "What's in it for me?" you begin to ask, "How can I help?" This shift opens doors that would otherwise remain closed. Giving is also a form of legacy. What you contribute leaves a mark on the world long after individual achievements fade. People remember the impact you had on their lives, not just the accolades you collected. Acts of giving create a cycle. The energy, goodwill, and knowledge you share often return to you in unexpected ways, reinforcing the principle that generosity breeds both opportunity and fulfillment. Contribution challenges ego. It requires humility to prioritize others' needs, admit what you don't know, and step into service without expectation of recognition or reward. Giving first fosters collaboration. Teams and relationships thrive when individuals focus on contributing rather than competing. The shared sense of purpose strengthens bonds and accelerates collective success. Contribution also expands perspective. By engaging with the needs, struggles, and aspirations of others, you grow emotionally, intellectually, and socially, learning lessons that self-focused pursuits often overlook. Ultimately, giving before taking is not just a strategy, it is a principle that shapes influence, builds trust, and ensures lasting impact. Those who embrace contribution as a habit create ripples of value that extend far beyond their immediate reach. Patience is often misunderstood as passivity, but it is far from being idle. True patience is active. It is the disciplined practice of waiting while continuing to learn, grow, and prepare for opportunities. Life rewards those who can delay immediate gratification in favor of long-term results. Patience allows you to invest time, effort, and focus into what matters most rather than chasing fleeting wins. Most people want quick results. They measure progress by speed rather than depth. But the most meaningful achievements are built over time, and only patience allows you to reach that level of mastery. Patience cultivates resilience. When setbacks occur, those who practice patience respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, turning challenges into learning experiences instead of sources of frustration. Waiting is not wasted time when used wisely. Every day spent learning, observing, and improving is a day closer to achieving a goal with wisdom and precision. Impatience often leads to mistakes. Rushed decisions and actions can undermine progress and create unnecessary setbacks. Patience allows space for reflection, ensuring choices are deliberate and effective. The power of patience lies in trust. Trust in the process, trust in your preparation, and trust in timing. When you believe that effort compounded over time produces results, waiting becomes purposeful. Patience also fosters perspective. It allows you to see beyond immediate discomfort or inconvenience and understand that growth is often gradual and imperceptible until it becomes significant. Waiting cultivates emotional intelligence. It teaches you to manage frustration, regulate impulses, and maintain focus on long-term priorities instead of being distracted by short-term temptations. Patience strengthens relationships. People respond to calm, steady presence, and those who exercise patience listen better, communicate more thoughtfully, and build deeper trust with others. True success is rarely accidental. It is the result of sustained effort, learning, and waiting for the right moment to act decisively. Impatience often sabotages these critical opportunities. Patience encourages strategic thinking. Rather than reacting to every stimulus, patient individuals assess situations carefully, anticipate outcomes, and plan actions that maximize long-term impact. Patience also teaches humility. Recognizing that not everything can be rushed, that time shapes outcomes in ways we cannot control, fosters a sense of respect for the process and the journey itself. Ultimately, those who master patience learn that waiting is not passive, but but a form of power. By combining reflection, learning, and disciplined action, patience cultivates success that is deeper, more meaningful, and enduring. Growth is rarely comfortable. It demands stepping into the unknown, questioning long-held beliefs, and confronting habits that no longer serve you. Courage is the force that allows this transformation to happen. Most people cling to familiarity because it feels safe. Old routines, beliefs, and thought patterns are like security blankets, even when they limit potential or hold us back from becoming who we are meant to be. Evolving requires acknowledging that some of what we have believed or practiced may be outdated or harmful. This honesty is difficult, but it is the first step toward meaningful growth. Bravery is not the absence of fear, it is acting in spite of it. Facing the discomfort of change requires courage because the path to evolution often feels uncertain and threatening. Habits shape identity. The daily choices we repeat create the person we become. Challenging old habits is challenging the very structure of who we are, which is why it takes deliberate courage. Beliefs are the lens through which we interpret the world. Some beliefs empower us, while others limit possibilities. Evolution begins when we examine these lenses and discard those that no longer serve our highest good. Growth often involves breaking patterns that are comfortable but unproductive. It can be as simple as changing how we react to stress, or as profound as rethinking the values that guide our decisions. Courage to evolve also means being willing to fail publicly. Experimenting with new behaviors and ideas may lead to mistakes, criticism, or judgment, but these risks are necessary for transformation. Self-awareness is a critical component of evolution. Recognizing which beliefs and habits are holding you back requires reflection, honesty, and the willingness to confront your own resistance. Growth is rarely linear. There are setbacks, relapses into old habits, and moments of doubt. Courage allows us to persist, reminding us that evolution is a process, not an instant result. Surrounding yourself with supportive people strengthens your ability to evolve. Courage does not mean going alone. Mentors, friends, and allies can provide guidance and accountability during transformative periods. Challenging old beliefs often requires questioning authority, societal norms, or cultural conditioning. It takes bravery to think independently, trust your judgment, and embrace perspectives that differ from the familiar. Courage to evolve fosters authenticity. When we discard limiting beliefs and harmful habits, we align closer to our true selves, living a life that reflects our values, passions, and potential. Ultimately, growth demands both bravery and persistence. The courage to challenge old beliefs and habits allows transformation to occur, unlocking new levels of self-awareness, freedom, and fulfillment